If you believe it's gonna happen, then you just have to commit all the way to it. And some people, I think, they don't allow for that. They think, I'll just go to Hollywood, I'm just make it big, and I'll get a job, and it's gonna work. And then if you don't, you know what they say? Oh, everybody puts on a dress. Not everybody. I ain't seen Denzel put on Nair lip gloss. I ain't seen that boy do anything where I've been like, oh no, you too?
Omar Gooding talked about how his career could have been much better if he followed Hollywood's rumored rules for black actors. He explained why he didn't choose that path. He said, I'm kind of the person who lives honestly, so I couldn't fake it and say it's just acting when people saw me doing something I don't believe in. Another reason he gave was even more surprising to most people, which is we wouldn't do it justice. However, this decision seems to have had a big impact on his career, and he admits it. Do you think Omar Gooding has received enough support in the industry, or has he been overlooked? Oh, it's clear. He hasn't received enough support and has definitely been overlooked. But let's delve a little deeper, shall we? But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now, let's dive in.
That will not compromise for two reasons.
Okay.
One, I'm the type of person that moves around in the world. So I know how, I couldn't do something even and be like, all right, fine, it's just acting.
There are only a few famous family names in the entertainment world, much like the Jackson 5 were in their time. The Gooding family is another one known for their remarkable entertainment contributions. One might assume their lives were quite easy, but that wasn't the case. Just like many others in the industry, they faced their fair share of challenges. In an interview, Omar Gooding, also known as the younger brother of actor Cuba Gooding, talked about the difficulties he encountered while making his way in the industry over the years. However, Omar's focus wasn't solely on the typical industry challenges. He emphasized the expectations placed on black actors just to get a few laughs. From the start of his career, Omar had already set boundaries he was not willing to cross.
A black man in Hollywood, and then I'll even add to a layer of that a black heterosexual male in Hollywood.
Well, if you all go ahead now.
We've seen that black actors sometimes face confusion about their choices. What's more concerning is that the actor's brother and many other black actors have talked about industry pressures, and it's possible his brother went through the same thing. Now, it seems he's taking control, and it's a big deal. The TV industry we knew growing up is different now, and many actors agree. It's surprising to hear this from someone we thought had it all. The actor can share his story because he had a backup plan while pursuing his film dreams. This plan probably saved his career. According to the actor, he was offered bad things during his successful period, and refusing these offers ended his career. It wasn't just the roles. He also had personal problems that nearly left him broke during his peak. Omar knows a lot about these struggles, and many other black actors had similar experiences, making it easier for him to share his stories.
I won't be able to do it justice. There's certain roles I just wouldn't even consider because I'm not gonna be able to pull it off, man. I'm offend them more than they gonna be offended by me saying something slanderous. They gonna be just like, oh, come on now, really?
If it's not just one incident, it seems like a reoccurring pattern, right? Let's start with an introduction. Omar might not be as famous as his older brother Cuba, but he's a dedicated actor who started in television. Hailing from the Bronx, New York, he began his career as a host in the 1990 series Wild and Crazy Kids. In the same year, he had his first film role in Ghost Dad. By the following year, he had guest appearances on the series Blossom. Over the next decade, Omar stayed out of the limelight while his brother Cuba enjoyed success in big roles in high-budget movies. Omar continued to work making appearances in shows like Thea and Search Party, providing voices for characters in Batman Beyond, and securing regular roles in series such as Hanging with Mr. Cooper and Smart Guy. Considering how extensive his movie career is, and the fact that he has a famous brother, you might expect Omar's journey to stardom to be easy. However, the reality has been quite the opposite. Recently, he opened up about how his life in the entertainment industry differs from what people assume. In a recent interview, Omar shared that there appears to be a strategy in the industry to make black male actors seem less masculine. He explained that in his case, it's more complex than usual, because he had strong personal reasons to never give up his masculinity.
But there's no have to. You know what they say? Oh, everybody puts on a dress. Not everybody. I ain't seen Denzel put on Nair lip gloss. I ain't seen that boy do anything where I've been like, oh no, you too?
Firstly, he thinks that due to his love for travel, taking on a role that portrayed him differently from how he wanted to be seen as an actor was a definite no-no. It's logical because most famous actors are strongly associated with their on-screen characters by fans. So much so that when fans encounter them in real life, they address them based on those roles. In his case, this might have meant being recognized for a role involving cross-dressing. He preferred to have a life where he didn't need to constantly clarify to people that such a role was purely acting and had no bearing on his personal life. So he chose to avoid roles that could lead to him being perceived in a different way.
Make a decision. If you commit to this, if you believe it's going to happen, then you just have to commit all the way to it. And some people, I think, they don't allow for that. They think, I'm just go to Hollywood, I'm just make it big, and I'll get a job, and it's going to work. And then if you don't, and you don't have another job to back it up and all this and so forth and so on, then, you know what I mean? I was fortunate.
Another reason why Omar avoided such Hollywood roles is his genuine belief that he wouldn't be able to do it justice, even if he tried. He shared that if he ever found himself in a situation where he had to play such a role, he might unintentionally act in a way that could be offensive to many. Not because he wanted to be offensive, but because he felt he wasn't suited for those kinds of roles. He used this as advice for aspiring actors, urging them to not take on such roles out of desperation. He suggested that it's better to wait for the right opportunity in a role they truly desire rather than being coerced into something they don't want. In Omar's view, there's always a choice, and he believes that people make their own decisions and must face the consequences. He simply thought that the consequences of going down that path weren't worth it. Omar wasn't the only one who faced unusual role propositions. He mentioned during the interview that his brother had a similar experience while they were growing up, although it's unclear if his brother explored those opportunities. Omar disclosed that one reason he wasn't offered certain types of roles was because he didn't come across as approachable. However, it appears that avoiding such offers involves more than just one's appearance. Many other actors like Cat Williams have also talked about the idea of putting black male actors in dresses for comedic effect. There's a belief that there's something particularly funny about a guy in a dress. And when it comes to humor, perhaps nothing is funnier than a black man in a dress. However, as with all aspects of the industry, this isn't something that suits everyone. Cat Williams, for example, stated that wearing a dress wasn't for him. He believed deep down that it was the one aspect of acting he might not be able to pull off.
You mean to tell me this man asked you if you ever decide not to be a man, to call it like that, and you was okay with that, you know?
Cat doesn't think the rule applies to all actors. He mentioned that some actors wear dresses for scenes, not because they are okay with it, but because there are others who have done worse. He was indirectly referring to Kevin Hart, who previously criticized the idea of comedians or black actors wearing dresses for their careers. Kevin laughed off the idea in an interview, emphasizing the importance of setting boundaries and not crossing certain lines. He even mentioned being asked to wear a dress for a comedy skit and his stance on such requests. Just a few months after that interview, Kevin Hart surprised everyone by appearing in a dress on Saturday Night Live. Portraying a 9-year-old female Pope, Kevin joined a long list of male comedians who have done the same, including Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, and Tyler Perry. The entertainment industry's ability to persuade men to wear dresses for humor has sparked a broader conversation, with influential figures like Dave Chappelle expressing their resistance. Chappelle once shared his experience of being asked to wear a dress for a movie scene with Martin Lawrence, highlighting a pattern of Hollywood putting black men in dresses at some point in their careers. Dave Chappelle recounted a conversation with a film writer who informed him that he was supposed to wear a dress in a scene. Dave refused to wear the dress and found it strange that the scene hadn't been discussed earlier. The writer then called in the producer and director to persuade Dave to put on the dress. Chappelle shared his discomfort with the idea and explained how everyone, from the writers to the producers, tried to convince him by saying that even the greatest actors had done it at some point. Despite their efforts, Dave Chappelle didn't change his mind. Omar's revelation about the less appealing aspects of the industry, which many other stars have also resisted, earned him praise for standing up to the Hollywood system. People seem to expect more from the actor based on their positive reaction to his disclosure. Perhaps we'll hear more from him in the future. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.